There's been so much talk about the candidates who are vying for the Democratic nomination, but one of those candidates always seems to stick out. In every poll that I've watched, even the polls I disagree with, whose methodology is suspect, where they don't even question anybody under 50. Doesn't make sense. Some people under 50 vote. Be that as it may. Even in those polls, Bernie Sanders is always in the top 2. One of those reasons why Bernie Sanders resonates with so many people in regards to gender, orientation, race, age, demographic, legacy, West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, down South, is because Bernie Sanders focuses on issues that working people care about. One of those issues is how much money you make and if you can afford to eat and live indoors. Now, recently, Bernie Sanders attended a Walmart board of directors meeting in Arkansas where they made the mistake of giving him the mic and letting him speak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And let me thank Walmart employee Kat Davis for introducing this resolution. And it states, and I quote, "Resolved, shareholders of Walmart urge the board to adopt a policy of promoting significant representation of employee perspectives among corporate decision makers by requiring that the initial list of candidates from which new nominees are chosen by the Nominating and Governance Committee include hourly associates. The policy should provide that any third-party consultant asked to furnish an initial list will be requested to include such candidates." End of quote, end of resolution. Madam Chair, the issue that we are dealing with today is pretty simple. Walmart is the largest private employer in America and is owned by the Walton family, the wealthiest family in the United States, worth approximately $175 billion. And yet, despite the incredible wealth of its owner, Walmart pays many of its employees starvation wages, wages that are so low that many of these employees are forced to rely on government programs like food stamps, Medicaid, and public housing in order to survive. Frankly, the American people are sick and tired of subsidizing the greed of some of the largest and most profitable corporations in this country. They are also outraged by the grotesque level of income and wealth inequality in America, as demonstrated by the CEO of Walmart making 1,000 times more than the average Walmart employee. Last year, Walmart made nearly $10 billion in profit. It paid its CEO over $20 million in compensation, and it has authorized $20 billion in stock buybacks, which will benefit its wealthiest stockholders. Surely, with all of that, Walmart can afford to pay its employees a living wage of at least $15 an hour. And that is not a radical idea, because many of Walmart's major competitors like Amazon, Costco, and Target have already moved in that direction. Further, Walmart should give a voice to its workers by allowing them seats on the board of directors. The concerns of workers, not just stockholders, should be part of board decisions. Today, with the passage of this resolution, Walmart can strike a blow against corporate greed and a grotesque level of income and wealth inequality that exists in our country. Please do the right thing. Please pass this resolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Sanders, for your presentation and for your viewpoint.
Guys, I watched this video a number of times. Okay, because there was something that was missing from this video, and I'm hoping that you caught it. It took me a couple of listens. There's something that's not in this video, and it's not a bad thing that it's missing. It's not a bad thing. Someone who used to live in a neighborhood where there were gunshots, when I moved to the suburb type area, when I didn't hear the gunshots, it was missing, but I didn't miss it. That's sort of like what was missing in this video. See, if Beto O'Rourke or Pete Buttigieg or Kamala Harris or Cory Booker or these people gave a speech at a Walmart board of directors meeting, there's something that would have been in their speech that wasn't in Bernie Sanders. And I want you to think about this. You know what that thing is? Platitudes. You know, things that are just said to make you feel good. You know, like, well, Walmart should be the leading, guiding light of the people's huddled masses, and, we need to unify, and everyone needs to love each other and kiss each other, and we should skip down the road together, and it would be such a beautiful thing if we could all have the leadership and the guiding principles that would chia. Chia. It's the pet that's not a pet, but the hair grows. It would have been a whole bunch of that stuff. And you know what? It's unnecessary. Also, it's a distraction. Also, it's wrong. Because when you're given an opportunity to address the board of directors at Walmart, or when you're given the opportunity to address the American people, you should have facts. Facts is what Bernie Sanders had from the beginning of his opportunity to the end of his opportunity. It was all facts. He didn't waste your time. He didn't waste my time. He didn't waste the board of directors' time. He didn't waste the time of the workers. He talked about the egregious level of greed. The egregious level of greed, the mendacity for an organization, a corporation that makes as much money as the Walmart corporation, as the family, the Walton family, that won't pay its workers a livable wage. And how ludicrous it is. How unfathomable it is for the most profitable, most wealthy family in the existence of American families cannot pay a livable wage. That Target and Amazon pay a better wage than Walmart when Walmart's more profitable and Walmart makes more money and there are more Walmarts and you employ more people. And how much that would change the lives of so many people. This is why when I talk about Bernie Sanders and I talk to my black brothers and sisters, I tell them, Bernie Sanders, take a closer look. Take a closer look, because when we talk about workers' rights, when we talk about increasing pay, he's talking to you. I know you think, oh, he's not saying black. He don't have to say black. He's talking money. He didn't have to pander and say, oh, black people, black people, black people. What else you got to lose? He's talking your language because he's talking about your ability to take care of your families. Fighting for all. So what kind of rebuttal is there to the very simple logic of you make a lot of money, pay your people a livable wage? Well, here goes Bill something, who is the former CEO of Walmart, talking about it on Fox Business.
Former Walmart U.S. CEO Bill Simon. Great to see you, Bill. What do you make of Bernie's demands?
Well, first of all, I'm really shocked he even found Arkansas, so it's good. It's good that he showed up. I didn't know he knew where it was. His demands are just old news. I mean, if we want to increase minimum wage, the thing that we're doing right now will increase. The things we've been doing will increase minimum wage. Just keep unemployment low, keep the economy on fire, and there's jobs out there that are, $10, $12, $14 an hour. So we're headed in the right direction.
Hey, you guys heard Bill. He said it. There are great jobs out there. Jobs paying as much as $10, $12, $14 an hour. Hey, Bill, those are the type of jobs you have? When was the last time you made $10, $12, $14 an hour, Bill? Like never, right, Bill? Bill, the reason why Walmart raised its rates to $11 an hour was because of a strike. Was because workers were demanding higher pay. Bill, when you were the CEO of Walmart, that's when a lot of striking happened. Under your leadership, Walmart was battling its employees, or employees were having to battle Walmart to get their wages increased. Why weren't you fighting for the workers, Bill? To get them that $10, $12, $14 an hour. Instead, you were sticking to your guns to keep them underpaid and closer to the minimum wage.
Bill,
Bill,
it's Christina Partsinevelos here. If we were to take Bernie out of the equation and you focus on the competitors, Amazon increasing the minimum wage to $15, Target $13, planning to hit $15 by 2020, don't you think that's a little bit of pressure on Walmart to do the same, given your experience? Do you think they're talking about that internally?
I'm sure they're looking at it. I mean, they're not looking at it because Target did it or because Amazon did it. If they're looking at it, it's because they can't fill their stores with the rate that they're offering. And as long as they can fill their stores, and they're saying right now $11 will do it, the market's driving the wage. And I'm really thrilled, frankly, that the market is driving the starting wage up. The government shouldn't be deciding what the starting wage is.
Ah, come on. You guys heard Bill. He doesn't believe that the government should be able to set any criteria for how much an employer should have to pay employees. And so what? You know? If Walmart can get away with paying $2 an hour, that's good enough. Doesn't matter if they make billions of dollars in profit. They pay as little as possible, as humanly possible. And the fact that all of the other businesses had to close down because Walmart is importing all their goods from like China and other countries where workers are paid 2 cents an hour. Well, hell, doesn't matter that the only jobs left are Walmart type jobs, because they've taken over the retail space by undercutting all of the competition. No. You know, see, Bill is a horrible representation of all of the greed and all of the callous, inhumane, non-ethical, unethical, unpatriotic people who run these types of corporations. And you're looking at it right there, Bill. Bill Simons.
Love it. I mean, I love what you're saying. You should run for president, not in 2020, but 2024 after we reelect Donald Trump. But, you know, one of the things about Walmart that I wish the company did a better job of, every study shows that there is no company probably in American history that has done more for poor people than Walmart, because you provide everyday low prices that makes things affordable and raises the living standards of low-income people. And the study after study shows that. I wish Walmart, you know, was a better defender of itself on that score. And by the way, you know, we did the tax cut, you know, for Trump. And for the very reason that you just talked about, Bill, we wanted to create a very competitive labor market so that workers have more bargaining power, so that companies like Walmart and Walgreens and Amazon and others would have to raise their wages. And it looks like that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I don't think that Jeff Bezos raised his starting wage to $15 an hour because he had pressure from Senator Sanders about the Bezos Act. He did it because it was the best thing to do for his business.
Man, who is that guy who was talking to Bill? He was trying to, I was expecting him to ask Bill out for a date or ask Bill to give him a job. Well, he's kissing butt. Yeah, he says that Walmart makes things affordable. Yeah, it's so affordable that their employees can't afford food and shelter. Yeah, those things. So affordable. And where are these studies that show that Walmart makes life so much better for people? I was actually thinking the opposite, because they came in, they crushed competition because they underpriced everything, and then all those little companies went away, and now Walmart dominates the market, so it can underpay its employees even less because all the companies had to go out of business. And Bill continues to defend Walmart. He's defending it like, oh, I don't think Bezos paid more because... No, I'm sure you don't. Yeah, under you, just a little bit about you, Bill, that I know. Under you, when employees were striking, trying to collective bargain in order to get increases in their pay, you were firing employees for missing time because they went on a picket line. And then a judge ruled that was illegal. So they had to give people back their jobs. And also, there are some videos that Bernie Sanders put up that's really interesting, because this video is not from Bernie talking. It's actual Walmart employees and former employees talking about life as a Walmart employee.
She was crying. It was payday. She said, well, I got to go home and pay my rent today. She said, but I have no groceries to take for my kid. I can't feed my daughter tonight when I go home. The Waltons make $25,000 a minute. She was crying. It was payday. She said, well, that's when I decided I couldn't be silent. Workers need to gather together. They need to say, we won't take this anymore. We need better. One girl came and told me she was crying. It was payday. She said, well, I got to go home and pay my rent today. She said, but I have no groceries to take for my kid. I can't feed my daughter tonight when I go home. The Waltons make $25,000 a minute. Most of their workers do not make that in a year. And that's a shame. They got enough money to live on the rest of their life. But you got workers who can't even afford to buy food at the end of the day.
Now, we can believe you, Bill, who was a CEO, paid millions of dollars, or we can believe the workers who worked under people like you, Bill, who were paid a lot less than $1 million. The bottom line is this. Walmart can afford to pay their employees a livable wage. They just can't. If Walmart can't afford to do it, who can? And what they do to fool you is they tell you, hey, without our government subsidies, we wouldn't be able to employ you. And if we had to pay you more enough to eat and live indoors, we're not going to be able to employ you. Then what you're going to do? But the fact of the matter is they're going to use that no matter what we do. We have to demand fair pay because it's the right thing to do and it's what people need. Now, Walmart is trying to move to a lot of robotics and AI. The issue is there are still employees, regular people with skin and bone, flesh, and needs to live indoors and take care of their kids. Those employees deserve a livable wage. So, are we going to allow Walmart to get away with being the country's biggest beneficiary of welfare? Yeah, it's welfare. See, some of my conservative friends can't stand it that there are people on welfare. Can't stand it. Makes them sick to their stomachs that there are people who need help. But they have no problem with a corporation getting corporate welfare, getting billions of dollars tax-free, or saving it on their taxes every year. So we have to be consistent. And I think a lot of conservatives are kind of waking up to the fact that these corporations have been sticking it to them. Meanwhile, on Fox News, they focus on wage issues like who's going to use the bathroom, what bathroom you're going to use, and, any type of issue of gender or race that they can to get people distracted off the fact that the corporations are bending us all over and taking advantage of us. And the least they can do is pay us a decent wage. I think that guy Bill, the former CEO, will be fine with people making nothing. Slave wages. That's what he's fine with that. No money. 2 cents an hour. He would. There are corporate bloodsuckers out there that would pay you less than $1 an hour if they could get away with it. They could care less where you live, how you survive. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. Find me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and on Twitter. Also, join my wolf pack. See that wolf back there? That wolf has my back. Become a member of it. I have your back. I hope you'll have mine. I got a great video over here I'd love for you to check out. It's right here in this list. It's about Tulsi Gabbard. Watch it now and find out more about a candidate that you won't hear talked about much on corporate media. Unless it's a smear job. Go ahead and click it. It's a great video.